All right. This is Rashad on demand. You ask, I'll answer. I'm at your service. Somebody asked me, what are your thoughts on Sean Payton's most recent comments towards Nathaniel Hackett? I'm going to read the comment, then we'll dive into it. It says, there are 20 dirty hands for what was allowed, tolerated in the freaking training room, the meeting room, the offense. I don't know Hackett. A lot of people had dirt on their hands. It wasn't just all Russell. He didn't just flip. He still has it. The BS that he hit a wall shoot they couldn't get a play in. They were 29th in the league and pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball. He don't stop. He goes on. It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or an organization gets embarrassed, and that happened here. Part of the reason was their own fault relative to spending so much explicit time trying to win the offseason, the PR, the pomp, and the circumstance, marching people around, all this stuff. He ain't stopped yet. We're not doing any of that. The Jets did that this year. You watch. Hard Knocks, all of it. I can see it coming. Remember when former Washington owner Dan Snyder put that dream team together? I was at the Giants in 2000. I was a young coach. I thought, how are we going to compete with them? Deion Sanders was there. Now, that team won 8 games or whatever, so listen, just put in the work. Boy, that's a mouthful. I'm loving it. This is actually preparing for the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets to have either Monday night game or a Sunday night game. Must-see TV. Why? Because here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say. This stuff funny.
For a coach to do that to another coach, it made me feel bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in the league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up for some sort of easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team this year. I thought it was way out of line and inappropriate, and I think he needs to keep my coach's names out of his mouth.
That's a lot to digest. Before we do that, I want to try to paint a picture and a philosophical approach. To believe means you act though it is true. Doesn't mean it's true. If you believe it's raining outside, you get an umbrella. If you believe that it's snowing outside, you probably get a jacket. If you believe Santa Claus is coming, you might act right. Doesn't mean any of these things are actually true. But when you believe it, you act though it is true. Sean Payton needs his team to believe that Russell Wilson is the man for the job. He needs everybody to believe that the old coaching staff was the issue and they're out of the door. He needs his team to buy in. And what other way to get people to buy in is by telling them it was all somebody else's fault. What will Sean Payton look like coming in and say, you know what? Russ was really bad last year and we're screwed. The head coach of the Denver Broncos, of course he's going to say he still got it. Regardless if he doesn't or not, and I think he still does. But you got to remember, people are paid to wear a hat. And when you wear a hat, you sell certain product. You have an AT&T hat on, you're going to sell AT&T services, regardless if you have Verizon or Cricket at the crib. You're going to sell what you're paid to sell. So look, I like it. At the end of the day, he should have stood on 10 toes and not apologized. That was a little weak, but he got to clean up. Cool. But in that locker room, trust me, he ain't apologizing. He meant what he said. He said that the old staff sucked. Now, if he need to lie to his team to get them ready, long as it ain't lying about somebody's health condition or anything illegal, if he need to lie to his team, lie. If you need to tell him an ugly truth, tell him an ugly truth. Lying, what do you think motivation is? When you motivate somebody, half time you lying to them anyway, telling them what they can do. No, they can't. Because if they could, they probably would have anyway. He's a coach. Coach. He's doing whatever he deems necessary. We'll see what happens when it comes with a week 4. I'll be watching, though, before the show. And as always, if you got something you want me to respond to, DM me.